Hey everyone, Danielle Fitzpatrick Clark here from Influence Builder and Influence Builder Club, our new membership site. And today, what am I going to talk about today? Well, for those of you who are Q1 entering into Q2, um, you guys may be a little frustrated. And I've heard this from a few people that 2023 has been slow so far. And there's a reason why. It's not what you think either. And so a lot of people are blaming the economy. A lot of people are saying that people have, pulled their purse strings. But there's two real reasons that if you're going through this is why it's happening. So let's talk about the first one. And this one, hmm, man, does this one make people really mad when I say it to them? Um, and it has to do with their programs and their products. And so when you look at their programs and products, you looked at how it's positioned, and you look at the verbiage, the messaging, the branding that's used with it. What it ends up being is something that's not a must have for their ideal clients. It's a nice to have. And don't get me wrong, we all do this. Like I even do this sometimes where I have a great product. It's something that people really do want. It's something that they need. But then when I position it and when I position the messaging, it actually is going out to the wrong people, right? So the people who don't see this as a must have in the moment, they see it as a nice to have. And so you really have to kind of take a deeper look at who is it that I'm looking to attract in? Who is that actual ideal buyer? And the ideal buyer is like the ideal. It's somebody who is, this is who I want to work more with. If I got 20 people who are just like this person, then my life is complete. That's an ideal client. Now, your target audience is a little bit different. Your target audience is the whole audience needs what it is that you offer. So, when it comes to positioning a program or product, the first thing you guys have to do is take another step back and take a step back from the ideal client. Instead of just the ideal client, look at the target audience. Who needs what it is that you have? And not just a need like, hey, this would be great if I had this. And maybe, we don't want them to say this would be great because there's a but. There's a but after it. And the but is, but that's a nice to have next year. Or but not right now. But not right now. Not that at this time. Don't really need it. It's not on the priority list, all those good things. So really you want to look at a target audience as a whole and the solution that you offer that target audience. Is it something that they really need right now? Right? And it's okay if they don't need it right now. You just also have to balance this with the next thing that is actually keeping you guys from getting the sales that you want. And the next thing that's keeping you guys from getting the sales that you want is that you are looking for right now buyers with it's a nice to have product, and they are not they are not your buyers right now. They're maybe your buyers 6 months to 2 years down the road, right? That's how you're positioning it. And so this is one of the things that I love teaching on. And I know one of my leaders in my community is saying, when are you going to write a book about this? I'm like, yeah, I should probably do that. Um, it's happening. It's happening. You can see it's nice to have, right? But beside the point, really what you guys want is you want a balance between the types of buyers that you are looking to attract in. Now you've got two general types of buyers. You have the I need it right now, I'm buying right now, and the it's not number one priority or I don't feel ready. And those ones are the ones that kick the can down the road. And that's the thing. There's a lot more to it. I mean, we're in the online space. Online space is completely different than in person or in stores. They have a different marketing tactic. When it comes to online, you really have two types of buyers, which are the fast buyers and the slow buyers. And and this is the thing, you guys be like, "Oh, I just want the fast ones." You want both. So, what does that mean for you right now? If you're not getting the sales that you want, then you have been attracting in your slow buyers. What is happening right now is actually the cause and effect of what you did 6 months to a year ago for your marketing and your sales. And here's what happens to a lot of people is that they will sell, they'll go into launch mode, they'll exhaust themselves too, and they will fill their programs, right? And so once they're full, once they're full, they have fulfillment and they're complete, but they don't keep marketing and selling, which you absolutely want to always be marketing and selling yourself. Does even if you don't have a program open at that time. So the cause and effect is that right in this first quarter of 2023, if you didn't hit your numbers, then you can look back at what you did and didn't do. You can also look at the present moment on what is it you're doing right now and who are you attracting? Because if you are still attracting in those not right now buyers, the ones that are the slow buyers, then you're off to a great start for the end of 2023, which is great. And you want that because that's going to continue to just build and build on itself. If that's your focus, great. Just know your payout is coming later. If you're like, no, I need clients right now, then there's two things that are happening. What possibly that they both could be happening. I'm willing to bet both of them are happening, but it could be one or the other. Either one, you didn't position yourself 6 months, a year ago with your slow buyers so that they would be ready to buy now, or you attracted them in and then you didn't continue nurturing them, or two, you are still using messaging that attracts in the slow buyers. So I know this is kind of confusing. I can go into it in more detail in some of my trainings, but I wanted you guys to know, like, if you're not hitting your numbers, those are the reasons why. So you really want to look at how you have strategized your marketing and your sales process when it has to do with that customer life cycle. And you really need to look at the target audience and then your ideal. So a lot of times I see a correlation between the target audience, meaning the slow buyers, and then the ideal, meaning the fast buyers. Is it always? No, it's not, but I do see a very common correlation. So I hope that helps you guys. So what is it that you can do right now if you are not seeing the sales? Well, here's my suggestion. Look at who you were talking with 6 months to even a year ago and what their interests were with your program. I mean, if you guys don't have a wait list, then you may have a not right now list. You want to go back to that and you want to re engage them if you haven't engaged them in a while. So that's the first thing that you guys can do. And re engagement doesn't mean I'm going to call them up and sell them. Re engagement means, hey, how you doing? Been a while. I wanted to see if you are still looking for X, Y, and Z, or if something's changed for you and there's something else that you need. I want to be able to support you as best as I can. So let me know. And so that's a really simple way to show one, that you care, and two, that you're interested in what it is that's going on with them now. So, and then see how they come back in. I mean, if they've not been nurtured for a while and they showed interest and they said not right now, the last thing you want to do is put pressure on them. You just don't. They're not going to come in. I mean, if anything, you're going to scare them away. So just gently go and check in. So that's one thing that you guys can do. Another thing that you guys can do is that if you're still feeling like I am not getting those buyers and I don't know what is going on, this is where you really need to check who your ideal client is and who your target audience is. Because really what's happening is that you are you are looking for people that are like the people that you've been talking to before, and they're the slow buyers. There are things that you can do, there are messages that you can make, and there's things that you need to adjust, not just within your messaging, but within your branding and within the programs and how you lay out your programs that will entice a fast buyer or entice a slow buyer. So you guys want to look at that and see if that's some of the things that you need to do to get more buyers in quickly. So those are two really great things. And the third one, and this is just for your awareness, the ones that aren't buying right now, do not give up on them. Do not push them aside and say, well, it's now or never, get out. You want to find a way to nurture these guys for the long run because you don't want to be in this place this time next year, right? So you have to look at this in a long-term play. This is very high level strategic um, customer customer journey. And so that's the other thing that you don't want to do. You do want to do is that you do want to nurture them, you don't want to push them aside because they will come into play eventually, especially if you show that you care and you show them information and you back up everything that you are doing. So those are my top 3 ways. So if you guys aren't filling your pipelines right yet, you need to fill those pipelines. If you guys are looking for sales right now, there are a couple things that you can tweak. So if this feels like something that like I could really use a little more in-depth knowledge on, you guys can DM me because I do have a couple of trainings that help with this. We have a couple that are coming into our Influence Builder Club, into our membership, where this will make a lot of sense and we'll be able to organize this. And you're going to be having some aha moments like, that makes so much sense. Oh, that's why that happened. And just know that this is how human behavior works in the online space. Now, we hear all the time like the numbers don't lie. No, they don't. What's really underneath the numbers though, that's where most people get lost. They see the numbers, they don't know why the numbers are acting the way that they are. That's where I can help you guys. So, you can DM me whichever platform you're seeing this on, DM me. You can ask me. I would love that training because it does make a big difference and going into depth on that. And I'm happy to point you guys in the right direction. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed.